everybody, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. We are another weekly rundown with Thomas Queter, and we have our buddy Jim Dayton here. And of course, this is Robert Murray with InspireNation. We've got a couple links. Check them out in the comments and check them out on the posts. And we got some cool stuff going on. We're doing some more fundraising, and we're continuing helping out our buddy Russell. You want to tell us a little bit about that, Thomas?
Yeah, so we're continuing to fundraise for Russel Jordan. We've got some more action coming up because we have a call team and a call list, and we're going to reach out to all the local businesses. We're going to reach out to some national businesses such as Home Depot and Lowe's, businesses that supply lumber, businesses that can donate materials. And the great thing about this, particularly being libertarians, is that we're working with a nonprofit organization, and those donations are tax deductible. That's almost an instance in which you get to choose what to do with your tax dollars. So if you choose to put it somewhere and then you write it off of your taxes, then you're essentially taking a portion of what you pay in taxes and choosing exactly what's done with it. And that's an awesome concept. I'd like to see more of that. I'd like to see greater deductions. And I think maybe New York should consider offering an in-state deduction for in-state donations to in-state causes that are worthy. If that makes sense. Jim, what do you think about that concept? Do you think New York should give greater allowances to write off charitable donations to in-state causes?
Yeah, definitely. It makes a lot of sense. Anything that the local governments should jump right on that, whether it be county, state, whatever.
You know, a lot of our nonprofits are they're tied to the grants and the money they can get from the state government. And the state government here in New York has pretty much flatlined their allowances over the last couple decades. So costs have gone up, inflation has gone up, but the amount of money that they receive to operate with has gone down. And in a lot of cases, depending on the issue, the need for their services has gone up. And at the same time, taxes have gone up, and so there's less of a pool for private donations. So I think this would be a wonderful thing to support our very valued and effective nonprofit networks here in New York, particularly those that directly serve residents of New York. That's something we need to be pursuing. That's something I intend to pursue. But if you go to the link that's scrolling across, or it might be in the text of the post of what you're looking at, you can donate to Russel Jordan. You can choose where some of your tax dollars go and help someone, a veteran, who's been through hell and back and is still kicking and going. He's a family man. He's a well-known member of his community. He's a hard worker, and he deserves to be comfortable in his own home with his newfound disability. And that's what we want to give him. Jim, you're the one that did the estimate for the work and the materials, because you're a contractor, right?
Yes, I am. That's what some people call me.
Yeah, you want to talk about what Russell needs? You're the guy that went in and wrote it all down.
Yeah, so he did get a good amount of materials already. He was kind of planning on doing some of this work before his infection that cost him his leg. So I went through a lot of the floors need to be replaced. Pretty much all of them for his walker and stuff like that, because there's weak spots from just aging home that he could put a leg of his walker through and be laying on the ground at any given point. So
he told me recently his son put his foot through the kitchen floor.
Yeah, I have a good idea, probably right where that was, actually, after looking through the place. he is in serious need of new floors, subflooring, and he actually has a lot of the flooring material already, but not the plywood that's needed. And he's got cabinets and stuff like that that need to be, pulled out and everything else. And he's actually got a lot of the cabinetry already as well. So why would anybody want to put the old crap back in there when he's got the new stuff already? So it's basically a full overhaul of the floors and kitchen to make it comfortable and suitable for him and his needs.
So it sounds like he was in the middle of preparing to do his own remodel when he fell to infection and had his leg removed to save his life. Does that look like the case to you?
Yes. He's actually got all of his ramps, to get in and out. Those are already built. He was able to do that with his son, or his son did it. I don't remember exactly now, but.
Yeah, I do. I know he was a little concerned because he knows his son spent a lot of money on the ramp. That may have tightened things a little too much. Right. And now with this greater need inside, I mean, it's obvious that he doesn't have the support to get that done. And he needs more than his own family support. He needs greater community support. And that's what we're trying to do here, folks. You can be a part of Russel Jordan's community just by donating $5 to his cause. Jim, you had pointed out that there was some need for repair on the exterior of the house, and I believe you actually had some of those materials.
Yes, there's one wall of his house that is not sided, has no siding on it. I do have some overstock material to take care of that for him. Same stuff, pretty much. So that I was just gonna bring with me when we're able to get started on some work. And my time going there and doing any work is all my time. I'm not charging anybody for that. We're just this is what you got to do.
And you're able to help out with those materials. It sounds like they're a byproduct of your business, right?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I come up with stuff here and there.
Yeah, that sounds efficient. I mean, rather than letting it lay around until it's no longer usable or throwing it out, now we've got a good cause to use it for.
That's right. Yes.
You could even call that green.
Yes, going green and getting it out of my barn.
Well, that too.
Just want to say hi to Bill Snyder. He said hello, and then we got a comment from the YouTube. He says we're doing. He loves what we're doing here, so that's great. Thank you.
Awesome. Hi, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Good to see Bill here.
Yeah, so the links are in, not only just scrolling across the bottom for those that are listening, they're also in the top of the comments on Tom Tweeter's Facebook page and his YouTube channel and my LinkedIn. And hi, Alice. Hello. How you doing?
I know Alice. Yep. She lives right up the road from me.
Oh, cool. Well, welcome, Alice.
Nice.
That's great.
Her and her husband are big supporters.
Perfect. I'm glad to hear that. So not to get too far off subject, I just wanted to bring up really quickly James Toller. He's doing a wonderful job in Kentucky. I just wanted to mention that he's been using his tractor trailer and getting funds and donations from people, and I think he had like $40,000 worth of stuff in his truck and like some cash, and he's just going back and forth. He's amazing. I mean, over 100 people I think have died in Kentucky, so it's something very, very valuable. I just wanted to throw that in there. Thank you, and we love you, James.
That's another instance, right? He's a libertarian doing a voluntary thing. Good, Bill. I'm glad you're starting to feel better.
Good, Bill.
But voluntarism is very libertarian. Libertarians tend to really embrace voluntarism and humanitarianism in a direct action manner. What we disagree with is wastefulness. And we see the government wasting when it tries to help. So we believe in voluntarism because it's direct action. It happens more quickly, happens more effectively, it happens at a lower cost, and it causes a greater satisfaction. I believe the Cajun Navy, which is born out of, I think, Katrina or maybe another hurricane in that area, they get hit every once in a while, you know. But they're a bunch of volunteers with boats, people who have boats, people who live where there's a lot of boating who have boats. And when there's a disaster, they get organized and they help people. That's voluntarism. That's libertarianism. That's what we're about. And that's why we want to bring libertarianism to the forefront. That's why we do what we do, is because we want to help people, and we want to do so in a manner that's effective. We see the government failing at it left and right, and we want to make sure that things go well, that it doesn't cost $10 for $2 worth of service. We want to ensure that our communities are getting their money's worth, retaining their value, and still getting what they need. And we believe it can be done. But it can't be. I'm a politician, I guess. I call myself not a politician because I don't feel like one. I'm just a citizen. I'm an average person who lives in a town, in a county, in a state of this country. And I believe that everybody should feel like that. I believe that all of our senators and assemblymen should feel like that they're just a person. And I believe that every person should feel like that they're just as important as any of those people. So that's why it can't be just me. I believe that the hardworking residents of New York or even the entire country can do the work and can do it better. And I believe that we do actually have the ability and the time to do so. So I'm encouraging you, if you see something in your community that needs to be addressed and nobody's addressing it and you think you can address it, talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors, put up a flyer, see if anybody else is interested in working with you, and see if you can form a group of people to address the problem. Not too recently, years ago, a local park closed down over funding issues, and a nonprofit formed to purchase it, and they still run it to this day. The Rogers Conservation Center is one of my favorite places in the area. And that's exactly what happened. People saw a thing to do, and they did the thing. And I guarantee you, no matter where you are, or where you live, or how much money you have or don't have, there's a thing you can do to better your community or to help someone in your family or in your neighborhood or in your broader community. However it is, there's something you can do. And maybe you should just consider doing it. That's how great things are done.
Something to think about right now in the season of giving. Go give something. It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be computers or PlayStations or whatever. It can be your time. You can make a difference with just your time and your plans.
I agree.
Yeah, it can be anything. It can be your time. You can give your time to someone who's struggling. You can help them with yard work. You can help them with snow in the winter, as we're about to come upon. And that's volunteerism. But right now, the thing you can do, actually, if you're watching this and you have $5, the thing you can do is go to the link scrolling across the bottom. It might be pinned in the comments at the top, or it might also be in the text of the post. But you can go to that link and you can donate $5. $5 for Russel Jordan.
How are you doing on that? How much does he need?
The goal is $25,000 actually. So if you've got more than $5 you can give, we'd appreciate it. But every little bit helps. I can speak to that personally. Last month, my personal accessible vehicle died, and last week, a libertarian started a crowdfund to replace it, and they raised $12,000, the exact number needed to replace it, in 23 hours. 23 hours they raised that. Most of the donations were $5 or $10. The average donation was $25. Think about that.
That's amazing.
If they can raise $12,000 in 23 hours, I'm pretty sure we can raise 25 by spring. Jim,
Absolutely.
it was spring that we were looking at, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, I think spring would be the best time to get this all done. And, we're not going to need all of that necessarily. If we can get some of these businesses to throw some extra materials at us, donate some subflooring, donate some, whatever else we need. We're going to need some electrical wire. We're going to need plumbing parts and stuff of that nature to get that kitchen back in place. But yeah, there's a lot of things that can be done. This is basically the primary objective is to get the money for all the materials in case those donations don't happen. So
that's right. The commenter there was pointing out that it was the Liberty Memes $5 charity club.
Oh, is that what you're?
Yes, LM5D.
Thank you.
Yes, a libertarian by the name of David Gay runs a Facebook group where they request that as a member you donate $5 a month to one of the charities that they post in there. It's usually a GoFundMe that they make themselves to make sure the money goes directly to the person in need. Of course, they vet every issue, every aspect to ensure that it's a true need. You're not being defrauded. And, they're great. It was something like 6 months ago. I saw that they had already raised well over $500,000 for causes. And apparently the van that they crowdfunded for me was the third accessible van they crowdfunded. That's amazing. And we're trying to do the same thing here with Russel Jordan through the New York Volunteer Network, a new nonprofit that's starting up to do things like this and to ensure that you can decide where your tax dollars go, to ensure that you can make sure that some of your tax dollars stay local.
And Russel Jordan does this type of stuff too, right? He's like Santa Claus, you had mentioned before.
That's right. He's a very community-oriented person. He does do Santa Claus. He likes to give. He likes to help. He's known for helping people. If anybody really deserves help right now, it's Russell. And I know it took some doing for Russell to get to the point where he could ask for help. But it takes some doing for everybody, even me. Still, it's
very, very Bill says. So I was saying, our YouTube guest here, he said that you pinned a site in chat can't be reached. Was it tomfor52.com or is that the one? Or
I didn't pin a site in the chat. Did you?
I did not. No, I did not. But the link, you're referring to the link. It's in the scrolling across the bottom, and you can't click that. But also in the comments, and then also on Tom's Facebook group page. So you can,
we'll come back in the YouTube comments when we're done, and we'll do the right link is in there.
Very
so
good.
Stay tuned. Or find me on Facebook. If you find me on Facebook, it's in the text of the post.
Jim, I wanted to ask you, so I know you had said that you do some construction and stuff, and you're going to help with the flooring and stuff, and Tom had mentioned, even electrical and things like that. Do you do electrical, or are you looking for an electrician, or is there somebody to do that portion?
No, we pretty much, as far as my company goes, we pretty much do everything, anything residential for the most part. So I have, for the electrical that's needed, for the plumbing that's needed, that's all stuff that's well within my wheelhouse. It's nothing extravagant or crazy. So yeah, that's all stuff that can also be handled. I do have another guy that works actually for my sister's company, which is plumbing, heating, electrical. And he said that he would give his time as well and come out and, we'll camp out in the field for the weekend or something and get as much done as we can.
You guys are so amazing. This is the holidays, and so those that can give, we ask you please do help have a good Christmas present for our friend Russel Jordan. And we're, like I said, and like Tom had mentioned, and we've been talking about here, we're raising funds for our buddy Russel Jordan because he's handicapped. He lost his leg, and his house is unsafe for him. And everybody has everybody should have the right and privilege of being able to live safe. in their home. And so just being comfortable is so important this time of holiday. So I do ask you guys donate. Tom, got any more info on this?
On this, no, but I do have another thing to bring up because it happened today.
Sure.
You might notice my shirt. I'm sure our viewers are wondering, right? Grassy is classy.
Yeah.
Many people are aware that New York State legalized recreational cannabis recently. But the way the state and local laws work, counties and towns have the option to opt out of allowing legal dispensaries within their borders. I live in a town called Guilford. I live in a hamlet of that town called Mount Upton. Guilford, without really informing the public, the board just decided to opt out of it, while all the towns around us are opting in, and we have at least one significant entrepreneur looking at putting a dispensary in town. We have properties that would be prime for revitalizing. We're on a good highway. We're near 88, and we're on 8, so it's a good traffic flow. It's a good place for business. It's a town that needs jobs, and some of that tax revenue, as much as I don't really like taxes, it does stay local. It does go to the town and the county. So to opt out, in my mind, is just a bad decision. Um, it's a bad fiscal decision. It's not going to keep cannabis out of the town. It's just going to send the jobs and the money away from town. And that's the last thing we want to do here. So today I went and I voted. I assisted with passing the petition to get the referendum to overturn the board's decision that was made in September without most people knowing about it. And, we whipped the public. We spread the information, and we talked to people, and we petitioned, right? We actually ended up getting over twice the required signatures for the petition. So that was pretty cool.
That's great.
We'll find out what happened probably tomorrow, I would imagine. They'll be counting those votes tonight. So, I am a cannabis advocate. I believe it has a lot of good to offer. I believe that its access is a big issue, particularly in rural New York, and safe access as well. So, myself and my own mother. Yes, Alice is absolutely correct. Everybody should be going to their town board meetings. Fill it up, make them uncomfortable, make them know they're being watched. That's our prerogative. It's our money they're handling. It's our rights they're handling too.
I wanted to ask Jenny before we get too going here. How are you doing with your school that you were looking for funding for?
Well, right now we are just looking at. Here's a group of about 5 of us getting together in person, January 7th, to actually start working out. We have to get a lot of things in place first of all. Also in January, they will be. It's actually a school system or a school district here that owns that building right now. That will be voting in January on putting it on the market for how much, blah, 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 who's the realtor they're going to use, things of that nature. I already have a realtor that's watching it. So when that happens, that's going to be a beautiful thing. But we do have to get a 501c3 figured out and stuff like that. And how we're really gonna do this exactly is not completely figured out. It was just a one-man idea a few months back, and honestly, I didn't see it going anywhere. But I'm building a coalition to help me out.
I think it will.
If you need help forming your nonprofit, let me know.
Okay.
I've got some resources for that. I've got some people who know how.
Right. Well, actually, 2 of the people in this meeting in January are actually, they already have homeschool co-op situations that they run themselves and they set up themselves. So I think I'm on the right path. I have the right people, that I'm conversing with on it all as well. So also talked to a lady that used to work for the IRS, and she left them, and now she helps homeschool co-ops actually get set up properly with all the proper paperwork and stuff like that. I talked to her for a good hour one night, and she gave me a ton of information. Been in touch with the HSLDA, which is, did I say that right? Yeah, the Homeschool Legal Defense Association. So I'm talking to lawyers. I'm talking to people all over the place. So we'll see what happens.
Bill Snyder says, Jim, whatever you need. And so thank you, Jim. Bill. Sorry. And Maria. Hi, Maria. Just stopping by to say hi. You know Maria. Thanks, guys.
So, Jim, is there anything you don't get involved? You were just telling me about something else you were getting involved with.
No, I like to stay active. There's actually a town, Macedon Community Center that's actually just sprung up. I actually thought it was part of the town that I've been living in for years now, for a long time. Apparently it's not. They actually just started about a year ago, and it's all just private business owners, for the most part. Well, or, individuals anyway, that are just, they started this thing, and they're basically, their first goal is to help with veterans getting the things they need, whether it be paperwork done for the VA, whether it be, just talking, whatever. And also, maybe possibly doing some renovations for wounded veterans as well in the local area. So it's cool.
That's awesome. This sounds like another instance of like-minded individuals outperforming government again.
I'd say.
Yeah. Yep. And they did try to get grants as well. None of them went through. So, it's just, but they've been able to make money already, and put it in their bank account without government funds. So it's all private donations.
They should reach out to a Clear Path for Veterans, because they're growing, and they're something like 97% privately funded.
What was that called?
A Clear Path for Veterans.
Okay.
I talked to a gentleman at the State Fair this year, and he was telling me about their growth and how they're opening new places and what they do and how it's all privately funded. And I think that's amazing. I mean, privately funded things do better.
Yes, they do. And right now we're seeing a lot of people walk away from the VA that need their services and stuff like that. But they're doing it for good reasons, really. The government, it sounded great. They had the right thing. It was meant to do the right thing. And then, sticky fingers getting away, whatever, just
it gets mired in bureaucracy is what happens.
Yes.
But my time is left. My time is about up for tonight. One last time I want to plug, go to donorbox.org/Russel Jordan. Make a donation, help a guy out. He really needs this. He's got 2 adult sons. He's got a young grandson. One of those sons and grandsons still lives with him, because times are hard, right? Yeah. We need to help improve his stability in life. If his disability progresses or as he ages, if his home isn't up to snuff, there's a potential that he could be removed from it and end up in a home, and that's not a situation that he would want. But if he has a home that's appropriate and accessible, then he can stay there a lot longer. And that's the thing we all need to remember. Every last one of us should be thinking about that, particularly as we age. Our homes need to be kept up because at some point, if we don't have a home that's livable, and we're too old to fix it up, or something has happened, then we won't be able to stay there. So, that there's a lot of things to think about. That what can we do for ourselves right now to ensure that we can stay in our own homes in the future, and what can we do for the guy up the road who's struggling to maintain and isn't able to keep his home up? Maybe he's already 70 years old. Can we offer to help him? Maybe we can. Maybe we can't. Maybe we don't have anything to offer. Maybe we do. But it's always something we need to consider, because not only is it unpleasant, or at least less desirable, to end up in a home than in your own home, but it's more costly. It's actually cheaper to provide services to people in their own home than it is to keep them in an institution like an old folks home, an elderly home, or a disability home. It's more cost effective to keep them in the community. It's also more pleasant. It's happier for everybody. So go to donorbox.org/Russel Jordan, and let's get this guy a new floor.
Yeah, I agree.
Please help them
And
out.
so we're running out of time here, you guys, and I really appreciate everything. And this is Robert Murray with InspireNation, and we have Thomas Queter and Jim Dayton here today. They are just amazing libertarians helping out. So, you guys want to say bye or a shout out to anybody? Otherwise, we'll see you again at 8 p.m. Eastern Time every Monday.
Help someone today. Live with yourself tomorrow.